Charles do Bronx Oliveira. Will he ever win a UFC title again? Why? I'm sure he won't in this video. Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA. Charles do Bronx, a guy that I absolutely adore, that every UFC fan adores, right? I always say he's like the Ronaldinho of MMA. Ronaldinho, if you don't know, famous soccer player, football player, whatever you want to call it, that back in the day, like everyone loved. And you knew no one that didn't love him. You don't have to be a fan of Charles Oliveira, but you sure like him. You cannot really hate him, right? I even have a signed glove of him here. Met him in Rio. What a beautiful human being he is. I absolutely love him. I'm a big fan of him and I always root for him. I rooted for Ilia when they fought, but I still love Charles, right? But I have to be honest with you guys. Charles Oliveira will never be an undisputed UFC champion ever again in his career. Because let's state the obvious. He will stay at lightweight, right? I think we can all agree with that. He won't move to welterweight. There, he won't win anyways, right? So at lightweight, who is there? There's Ilia Topuria at the top. He is never going to beat Ilia Topuria. He just won't. If they fight 10 times, Ilia beats him 10 times. I guarantee you that.
Everything is possible in your life when you believe.
And Ilia Topuria will not move up to welterweight as far as I believe, at least in the next couple of years. I really don't see that. I don't really see the benefit of it. He's already kind of small in terms of his height and all of that for lightweight. So why would you have to, if he moves up to welterweight, then maybe for one fight, but not forever, right? So he will always be at the top because at the moment I don't see anyone beating him. And the person that beats Ilia is a guy that would also beat Charles. And I have to be honest with you, the top dogs right now at lightweight is Topuria. You could even count Islam Makhachev if he returns. Arman Tsarukyan, I don't see him beating any of those guys. I know Arman lost to him. That was 2 years ago.
Is the future?
Yes. I believe that the Charles Oliveira of right now, he's not the same anymore. He's 35 now. He turns 36 in a couple of days, weeks, whenever you watch that video. 17th of October, I believe. He turns 36. This is old for a lightweight, bro. At 36, your speed starts to diminish. You start to get slower and just your timing isn't there as much anymore, no matter how much you train. And what also speaks against Charles in that manner is he has so many miles on the clock. It's not like he just started. He's 36 with insane amount of miles on his clock. He's in the UFC since forever. He has the most finishes in UFC. I think he's tied for second most wins in the UFC, most submissions in the UFC. Like, he's been in the UFC since forever and he got knocked down in half of those fights. And that will just accumulate. That's why I always say he should retire, because his brain is not gonna thank him for continuing to fight and getting dropped in every fight, right? And yeah, let's talk about this last fight, Gamrot. Did he win? Yes. Did he look good? Yes. But why did he look good? I honestly believe Charles Oliveira, the reason why he looked good in that fight is because Gamrot is that picture perfect matchup for him. If I would choose anyone out of the top 10 to fight Charles, for Charles to win, it's Gamrot. Gamrot is not a KO guy, he doesn't really have KO power, his striking is very limited. He's very static in his striking, he's not a good striker. All he has is a single leg, and on the ground he just tries to lay on you and to kind of smother you with punches and all of that and just grind you out for 3 rounds. He's not a guy that will, I don't know, omoplata you, gogoplata you, go for crazy berimbolos, whatever. Like, he's not the jiu-jitsu finish machine that Charles Oliveira is. He's more of a Belal Muhammad. And the Belal type of style just doesn't really work well against the style of Charles Oliveira. So that fight is a fight that Oliveira wins 9 out of 10 times, if not 10 out of 10 times. I believe if the initial opponent would have stayed Fiziev, as much as I love Oliveira, I would have rooted for him, but he would have got knocked out by Fiziev. I believe his chin is just gone. He was never that good in the first place. He got dropped in so many fights, but now that Ilia kind of cracked him completely by knocking him out flat, he will never be the same again. I do believe that in the next fight, if he gets hit clean by, I don't know, Max Holloway, he will get knocked out again. I really do believe that will happen.
Brain damage.
And I do not like that at all. As I said, I would love for Charles to be the champion. I love Charles. But it's just not gonna happen, bro. He's not beating any of the top dogs anymore at his age now. The next time he fights, he will be over 36. And I do believe you will start to see it a lot in his speed and all of that. Just everything that could speak against him right now is speaking against him. I believe what's next for him is Max Holloway. I believe that fight should happen and would be a great fight. He can still compete with the top dogs, of course. But Max Holloway himself, by the way, is not winning a lightweight title ever as well. Just saying that. But him fighting for the BMF belt, I would pick Holloway, to be honest, as of right now. But that is a fight that at least he has a fair chance, especially on the ground. It will be a fun fight. But it will be a rematch as well and all of that. So I believe he will fight Max Holloway. I believe, as of right now, Max Holloway knocks him out. And I believe he will retire after that. If he's anywhat smart, he will retire after he gets knocked out one more time. Because he has enough money. He had that fight in Rio now, which kind of was a bucket list thing. There's not really anything to gain anymore for Charles. Of course, the undisputed title, but as I said, that's not there to gain anymore because he won't get it anymore. I know you can make hypotheticals, but if Gaethje now fights Topuria, Gaethje beats Topuria, Oliveira fights Holloway, beats Holloway, and then fights Gaethje again for the undisputed belt. He beat Gaethje already, right? So he beat him again because, yeah, hypothetically also the aliens come down and crown Joe Rogan as the new heavyweight champion.
When do we do this?
You know what I mean? Like, everything is hypothetically possible, but none of these things will happen. Gaethje ain't beating Topuria for sure, bro. I can guarantee you that. So don't even come up with those theories. So I believe in my heart of hearts that Charles should retire after his next fight. There's not really anything to gain anymore. I do believe he will never come close to becoming the champ again, and that chapter is just over. Same as it was for Poirier, same as it is, in my opinion, for Gaethje, for all those guys. That generation is just over and out. This is my opinion, right? Your opinion in the comments. Do you think I'm a complete fool for that? Write in the comments, like this video, subscribe to the channel, would appreciate that. Check out my merch, bloodsport.net, the freshest tees in the industry. We're up for shipping with the code FREE. Check it out, you guys. Link in bio. Stay bloody, and until the next one. Bye-bye. Bloodsport out.